Welcome back, guys, here on the Wannabe news station. Live right here, Sevier Valley Event Center right here. College, Snow College here in Richfield, where we're doing a campaign debate type deal thing here for the Republican Party against Ralph Brown and Brad Duffin tonight. So let's go on in and check it out and see what questions they've got and stuff. They're going to tell us and why they're running for and what their plan is for the county commissioner seats. Ralph Brown sits in it now, and Brad Duffin's running for his seat. So follow along.
Hear me? Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome to our Sevier County Commissioner race open forum tonight. We appreciate you guys being here. We'd like to welcome our candidates, Ralph Brown and Brad Duffin. Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate that. We're excited to hear you guys. We'd also like to acknowledge Snow College. It's nice to have this facility in our area. Wonderful leadership to help with this, and some great opportunities to be here. I'm Jeff Razor. I'm the Executive Director of the Richfield Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'll be your moderator today. So if you did not get one of these pieces of paper and you would like to write a question for me to ask, then do you want to, right here, then feel free to grab one. When they're finished, when you're finished with the question, feel free, even during the questions, feel free to hand them over here to Shalon. And we're probably not going to be able to get through all of them, but anyway, they'll be up for consideration, I guess, and we'll do what we can. So feel free to give them to Shalon over here. So this open forum is brought to you by 4 different organizations: the Sevier County Republican Party, the Richfield Area Chamber of Commerce, the Sevier County Republican Women, and the Richfield Reaper. So we appreciate everybody that's been part of that. Just a reminder, none of these organizations take a position. We're not endorsing one candidate over another. We're all neutral. We're just happy to be here and to get some information tonight. So, all right, the way this is going to go is, first off, we will have candidate introductions. So we will give each candidate 4 minutes to introduce themselves, let us know whatever you'd like to about yourselves, maybe that we should know. And then after that, we will start the open forum part, the question and answer part. We will give each candidate 2 minutes. So I will ask a question, and then we will give one of the candidates 2 minutes, the other candidate 2 minutes as well, to answer the same question. Okay? So boys, play nice. Okay? Please play nice. Don't interrupt each other. You'll have your 2 minutes. Let's be good and be nice. Any questions? Candidates, any questions? We're feeling good? Okay, wonderful. I guess just at random, we'll pick somebody to go first. Ralph Brown, will you do your 4-minute introduction first?
Sure.
Okay, and then we'll hand it over to Brad. You do have, thank you for being here. You've got your little 30 seconds left, and please be respectful of our time limit so we can get more questions in. Okay? All you.
Thank you. First off, thank you for putting this on. It's good to get the public out and be inquisitive on what's going on and know the issues. I've been a commissioner. I'm in my this will be my third term that I'm running for. It's been a pleasure and an honor to serve Sevier County. We are proud of Sevier County, and we've accomplished a lot of great things that we're excited about. Lots of things that are in the works. Some of the things that's really been great is we've been able to set up a reinvestment agency, captured $1 million to give the Snow College South Richfield campus for student housing. If any of you have attended the last couple of commission meetings, there's a battery storage group coming in, and that's going to be bigger than the solar farm. So I've been in contact with President McKenna. We're excited about the possibilities. It also gives us the opportunity to look at lowering some property tax as well. I've lived in Sevier County my entire life. I married my sweetheart, knew her when she was in high school. We have 5 children, 13 grandchildren. Most of them live in Sevier County. They all have good outlooks on life, and we're excited about what's going on. We are currently working on a fencing ordinance, which affects a lot of the grazers on the mountain and a lot of the animals in the valley. We think that's going to solve a lot of solutions and will be a great asset for developers and for grazers on the mountain. But we're also fighting against road closures. The BLM has a project they're looking about closing a lot of roads out on the San Rafael soil. And we're a little bit worried, and we're trying to work through those issues that we can keep our roads open. I'm always fighting for roads open. I've never voted for a tax increase. I sit on a lot of committees, so I have a lot of experience. One of it's been really beneficial is I sit on the CID committee, and through the years I have a great relationship with all the commissioners in the other counties that serve there. It's a governor-appointed committee, and it's vital for small communities, for infrastructure, water, sewer, all these projects, and we've been able to bless a lot of lives. Recently, Sherman was able to get a new community center, and we changed the funding through the last cycle, and we got 100% grant farm. So that makes it possible for these small communities to be able to come up with infrastructure in these projects. So that's been a great thing. I also work closely with the governor's office on the House Bill 572, which is a housing grant for first-time home builders. I see this as a huge help for accomplishing what we want to, putting kids in homes instead of in apartments. I think that's what we want to have in Sevier County. I don't want to see us overrun and become a San Quentin with rows and rows and rows of vacant apartments. I think kids in houses is what we're doing. The governor's been really vital. They actually had me write some stuff down, and they wanted me to come up and testify on that bill. It did pass, so we're excited about that. Agriculture is a huge thing in this valley, and we really support agriculture. I don't know if you know this, but it's $113 million in receipts came in on agriculture alone. That's huge for this valley. So, anyway, it's a pleasure to serve you. It's a pleasure to be a part of this, and wish to continue to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, Mr. Duffin.
Well, I appreciate this opportunity to be here tonight, and I appreciate those who made this possible to put this on. I've lived here in Sevier County now for, it'll be 42 years this summer. Married to Donna Duffin. Very, very proud of her, very thankful to have her. I have to tell you, never in a million years did I ever think that I'd be running for a county commissioner. You know. But the opportunity was there, and I felt the need was there for a change. I have been part of search and rescue here for over 30 years, where I've held different offices. So serving the community here is nothing new to me. I love this area, and my thoughts are to only make this county stronger and better, and that's what I want to do. One of the other things that I've done is I volunteered to go on the honor flight. That was quite an experience for me. Some of the guys in there that I knew, but a couple of them that I worked with, I had no idea that the feelings were still there for being home. And the feelings were strong. I had a brother that did 2 tours of duty there. And so it became a very, very humbling, very emotional time for me. And it was great to see when they returned the healing that they had from that flight. I think that the things that I experience now, as I started running for this, is I went around and met people and spent time in the homes and listened to what they want. And there's probably 3 things that's really big on the minds of our citizens in this county. 1 is our taxes, 2 is jobs, and 3 is to find housing for our families. The as I've talked to many people, there is a lot of young families or single ladies who make too much for these apartments here in Ridgefield, that they don't make enough to buy a home. So those two things kind of go hand in hand together. We've got to have some bigger industry here, but we've got to also have homes to be able to provide for that. I had a great talk with Jed Maxwell, the mayor over in Salina, and he just said the same thing. He says, we've had a couple of companies that wanted to come into Salina, but there wasn't any housing there, so they had to back out and go somewhere else. So we need to fix that. One of the things that I would like to do when I get in there is to be able to form a committee and work with the towns and the cities, along with the engineer, and develop places where we could either bring businesses or build affordable homes, and then work on getting the infrastructure into that. Now, the challenge that we do have is that our 6 county has lost some of the budget for this kind of stuff. And so we have to work on trying to get that back as much as we can. I think everybody knows here somebody who has families that are living with mom and dad, you know. So those are the things, we just need to fix that. One of the other things is, I'm a great supporter of our first responders. So I've had people say to me, do you think we have too many deputies? And I said, absolutely not. So our deputies work 24/7, 365 days a year. There's many nights, many days when I've been at home and I've heard the deputies go by. And they're out there working when we're enjoying a turkey dinner, or we're enjoying opening presents on Christmas and that. So I am fully supportive of that. So.
Thank you. All right, the way we'll do this is we'll rotate. Since you answered first and he answered second, now Mr. Duffin, you'll answer first, you'll answer second, so we'll alternate. So one person's not answering first every time and then the same. So Mr. Duffin, you'll go first on this one. Regarding your position for this county commissioner seat, what would you consider to be your greatest strength and your greatest weakness in 2 minutes, please?
My greatest strength is that I will work hard. I will not quit at something. If I have the support of the other commissioners and I know it can be done, then I'll get it done. I won't stop, and I won't have somebody tell me that I can't do it. I think the thing that I fear most is accomplishing what I want to do, is bringing this, the businesses in here, bringing more affordable housing in here. And I know the governor's passed this bill, but I don't think we need to sit and wait for them to come down and get it done. We need to be aggressive and get things done within our own communities.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Same question.
Yes, same question.
So my strengths are proven. I've been involved for 7.5 years. I think my record speaks for itself, what we've accomplished. As far as economic development, if you realize all of the development has to take place within city limits. That's where the water is, that's where the infrastructure is, that's where the power is. So what we've been doing, I had a really good experience. Every mayor in this county has endorsed me because of how I work with them. And they understand that they each have a plan for what they want to have happen, and we work towards that. In Salina, we've set up with Rocky Mountain Power and set up the power grid, so they don't have to wait for 2 years to bring a company in. With Monroe, set up the landing field. With Ridgefield, we did 2 things. We worked for the new packing plant, and we worked with the bike trails, and all this stuff is to, and I think my biggest weakness is patience. I'm a building contractor, and I'm used to getting her done. And sometimes the wheels turn really slowly, and grant processes and working through things takes a while. So.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Mr. Brown, this will go to you first. How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in Sevier County?
Okay. We do that quite often with public hearings. I'm also on the radio every first Monday, and I try to be as transparent as I can. There's some things we can't talk about, but I try to be as transparent as we can. I also have relationship with our legislators on the Hill, the governor's office, and connections there, which helps me keep the public informed of what's really going on, serve the public.
Thank you. Mr. Duffin, same question?
I think probably a lot of the same thing there. We just need to be able to have the input of the community. And everybody's opinion is important. That doesn't mean it's going to hit the top of the list, but everything is important. In fact, I had this conversation with one individual today, and we were talking about a person. I said, I've got to listen. I've got to be able to hear what people are saying. And so everybody's input is important. Because we're not here to govern over the people. We're here to help the communities and the people of this county, and to try and do the best that we can for each other. And so that's what we need to do is listen to everybody and consider everybody's opinion to be important.
Thank you. Okay, next question, taxes. It's capitalized and underlined here, all right? We'll have you go first, Mr. Duffin. How do you propose to lower taxes, especially property taxes?
Taxes are based a lot on, went in there to the assessors 3 times and talked to them about this. So our taxes, I want to try and lower it if we can and put some money back into people, but we can't do it if it's not there. So we've got to bring industry into the valley. And we've got to build a tax reserve. So I asked the assessor, had we had a tax reserve build up, what would have happened when we had that last increase? She told me it would have softened the increase substantially. So I think what the county, in my opinion, has done is they've sat back and waited for things to come in. We can't do that anymore. We need to be aggressive in going out and finding businesses and bringing them in here and build that tax reserve so that we have something there as an emergency. So if we have to use something, either for whatever it may be, then we don't have to put that burden on the people.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Brown?
That's a really technical question, because being involved for so many years, I understand that the assessor sets the tax rate. And the tax rate is set so you capture the same exact dollars that you captured the year before. If we want to capture any more dollars for reserve, we'd have to go through truth and taxation. So we set up to get the same dollar, and that is, you have several silos. You have centrally assessed, which is all the big businesses, the big corps. Okay, and that's a self-reported state tax. Once the assessor gets that amount, it's not the assessor, it's the clerk auditor. Clerk auditor is the one that sets the tax rate. And then tax rates went down every year that I've been commissioner. But once he gets that centrally assessed, then he does the businesses, they're assessed on 100% of the value. And then all the residential's assessed at 50% of the value. And all those things are calculated in to attend exactly to the same dollars we captured last year. So building reserves is a really tough thing because we have the same dollars to work on. To lower property tax, or anything like that, you need to run for a different office. It's called legislator. It's on the Hill. It's with the governor's office. Those ones are the ones that deal with the state tax code and state things. I've been involved all these years, and I've yet to vote on tax. The only thing we do is accept the tax rate. That's as much as we get our hands into getting. It's a whole different thing. We have 600 other things that we're dealing with, and that's not one of them.
I think Ralph would probably agree with me. Most of that tax money goes to schools.
68%.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, another question here. So you go first. What public funding sources are available to support development and future growth here in the county?
There's the state government, the state governor's office. There's economic development offices. There's all kinds of grants through CID. There's several grants. And if you get into the water and agriculture, there's NRCS. There's a grant for almost anything you want to get. But all those things we support. The thing that's worked really well is when a city goes after a grant, the county's role is to support that city. And we put in funds to support, and we show skin in the game for that grant. And that goes a long ways in making these grants successful. Outdoor rec grant, we say almost every time because we're so involved, and Amy does such a great job in the application process with Cora's help. And that works so well hand in hand. But the same thing with Henry Barlow, the new packing plant. We pledged $60,000. The governor's office came in with $500,000, and then they got other grants. He's really worked hard for grants. We've been supporting for him for 18 months to get him up and running. One that I've been involved with the CIB is that they come in, Monticello came in for a hospital, $72 million, and CIB didn't even have close to that. The governor's office stepped up and funded that, so that took it clear out of the CIB funds. So now we can help all these smaller communities. Ridgefield City's coming up for a swimming pool grant right away. And all these little communities are coming for water sewer projects. Any of the engineers know that without CIB, these small towns couldn't hardly do anything. And so that's really vital. And this money is a derivative of mineral lease monies. It goes into the state kitty, and then they issue that back to the county. So thank you.
Thank you. And the same question, what public funding sources are available to support development and future growth?
Well, I think Ralph pretty well covered, and I don't know him all as well as what he does, but I know there is grants and that out there. CIB is a little frustrating in a way that, you know, Richmond City can't get all the money they need for their swimming pool, but yet we can get money from bike trails. So sometimes you just think, okay, let's get things where we really kind of need it sometimes. But it's all good because it's been a great bike trail thing. In fact, that lady asked me in line, do you support that? Absolutely. You know, anything that's going to be a benefit and good for our communities, I'm for, you know. But money is tough right now. And so, you know, there's been some things lost because of not being able to get
this isn't really a debate, so I think we're going to move on. Thank you, though. Mr. Duffin, you'll be next. Who do you support or endorse for governor, and why?
I haven't decided yet. I'm leaning towards one, but I haven't fully committed on who I'm going to support right yet. So I'm just going to leave it right there.
Thank you. Mr. Brown?
So I'll tell you this much. I've known Governor Cox when I first got put on the county commission. I worked with him when he was lieutenant governor, and he started the IGP under Governor Herbert. He helped set up the MCOT team. And Dave, you don't know what the MCOT team is. That's an emergency response team that goes out. He helped fund that. He's helped with the hospital down there. He's also working with me real close to the housing bill. I worked with him together hand in hand on that. And so he's done so much for rural Utah that he's doing a great job that way. But the last thing that he's working on right now is setting up a receiving center. I had a chance when he came to Ridgefield High School that he spoke at. He spoke on what's going on in Utah and everything for the kids. It was centered around the kids. But I had a chance to talk to him afterwards, and I says, I understand you have a lot of mental health issues on the Wasatch Front, but when you have one, it's a 5-minute drive to get into a facility. When it happens in Paiute, Wayne, or Sevier, Sevier Valley Hospital becomes the receiving center. And they're there until they can be transported up north. That takes 2 officers or 2 EMTs, ties up a vehicle, and all that. So I said, hey, I understand what it is on the Wasatch Front, but we need something in rural Utah for mental health. Mental health has just skyrocketed. 2017, we had 26 calls. Last year, we had 220 something mental health calls. And most of those need to be transported. We need to do that, so we need to be careful who we're endorsing, and I think he's done a great job, and I have my support with him.
Thank you very much. Okay, next question. Here's kind of a long one here. We hear about affordable housing, right? When you refer to affordable housing, are you referring to the high density housing? How can we avoid these types of developments and keep Sevier County rural?
Absolutely not. I don't like high density housing whatsoever. House Bill 572 puts it on the developers to develop 60% of their subdivision with houses 300,000 or less, geared around kids. That's what that grant's for. One thing that we work on hard, and I said on that committee, is we're starting a Brooklyn Special Service District. We currently have 9 lots that have been back for non-payment of taxes. We're working with Elsinore Town, and they've been really good. They supply the water out there. And we'll be able to put 2 lots together, so instead of 50-foot frontages, there'll be 100-foot frontages. 6 County is gonna do 5 self-help houses out there with these properties that we obtain. And so, you know what you can pick up a lot for out there? $4,000. It takes a couple, and some of them have water. So do you know what that does to the cost of building affordable housing? That's our start. And we've taken in all of Brooklyn Road and all of the Elsinore Nation and created a service district. And we're changing that. We've also abated about 10 lots out there that were just abandoned trailers and wiped them clean. And so they're vacant clean lots. So that's one project we're doing on. We feel like that with working with Snow College and getting up to housing, so we have a lot more students here, then we have 118 jobs today in Sevier County from job service right now. And they may not all be big jobs, but some of them are great jobs. And so if we can work and get the attendance up at Snow College, we'll have these kids available to work.
Thank you. And same question. When you refer to affordable housing, are you referring to high density housing? How can we avoid these types of developments and keep Sevier County rural?
Great question. So when I started, I was talking about affordable housing, and I changed it to affordable homes so people didn't get confused with that. Richfield City, I've talked to one of the officials there, and they said they're changing the ordinances because of what happened with that housing down there by Walmart. So no, we've got enough of that. We need to bring our young families out of mom and dad's home and put them into their own home. As far as this Elsinore addition thing, I'm not sure the county needs to be into the district. And I'm not sure if that's the best place to do it, because it's hard for me to say this, it's hard to put it into the right words. The people that's going to live there have a hard time affording anything. How are you going to build them a house and then have them be able to afford to buy it? The other thing is there's a lot of lots there. Elsinore City's not putting out any more water meters. They've already told me that. So that isn't going to happen because it's just not. So it's a tough subject right there. It really is. And I do not want to be insensitive to anybody. But the housing is very important, and we need affordable housing. So that goes back to my plan of working with the cities and in any town, and working with engineers and putting infrastructure in and getting a master plan together like that.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, next question, Mr. Duffin. What new businesses are coming into the county? Any new businesses that plan or are currently in the works coming into our county that you know?
I've been talking with an individual, and I don't know what's going to happen. It might. If it does, great. That would possibly bring a business in here in a couple of years' time, and he said it could bring 150 jobs maybe even up to 300 jobs. So that part I've started. I mean, I've already been working at doing stuff. We need those things in here. We've got to have jobs. I mean, there's jobs downtown. Ralph said, yeah, there's wanted signs all up and down Main Street. Well, yeah, it's minimum wage. We can't keep kids here and families here on minimum wage. We've got to bring industry in that's going to pay them a good wage and hopefully have benefits with it so that they can stay. And that's what I want to do, is go after things like that. Now, what's out there? I don't know. We've just got to look. We've got to go look and find it. And that's what I want.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
The 118 jobs isn't just up and down Main Street. They're throughout the county, in all different levels. Housing is a real key to all this, and we're not putting people that can't afford houses in the Elsinore Vision. We're putting self-help young couples that will have a place to build their home, and they've got to have the income to be able to do that. So none of the 6 county grants would go to people that couldn't afford housing. And we're not in the real estate business. We didn't buy that at all. Those lots that we have currently right now have been paying through non-payment of taxes. So we're not going to be in the real estate business. We're not doing that. We're in the business of affordable housing out there.
Okay, thank you. All right. We'll kind of go more of a personal question now. What experience in your professional, in your profession and life has prepared you for this county commissioner position?
Me first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Over here. Sorry. What experience or experiences in your profession and life have prepared you for this?
Thank you. So I've worked as a building contractor since 1976 in the building trades business. So I run an own business and work in other states besides just in here. And I served on Central Water Works for 18 years. Helping run a water company that serviced the Central Valley. Worked on zoning and planning for 8 years, so I understand the issues of all the zoning and process of that. Worked on the ambulance as a volunteer EMT for 6 years. Served in the church in various callings, and worked with my family. All these things just go hand in hand of what's going on. At this time, I need to give credit to my wife. She's probably 50% of the combination. She's with me side by side. Every time I go anywhere and do anything, she cooks, she bakes, she's up at 6 o'clock handing out jackets and stuff at the jamboree for people. She has been my rock in my service, and I really appreciate her. That's not qualifies for the position.
Thank you. And then same question. What experiences in your profession and life have prepared you for this county commissioner position?
I think everything I've done has. You know, I've worked in the coal mine for 25 years. I've been in real estate now for 17, 18 years. Being a volunteer at the search and rescue, we work with people to help. And that's what I want to do, is make a difference in this county. It's so important that we do that we do the best that we can at whatever we do, and that's what I do. I was on the baseball committee, and all the new things that was done up there at the baseball field, I was over that. So the new dirt, the new fields, the bleachers, the scoreboards, everything that we done in there was under my direction. And so I feel, in fact, that's a great question. I was talking to somebody today about it. I came in, I said, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready for this. But I'm a lot more sensitive to people's needs now than what I was back then. And people are important. I don't care where they're from, they're important. And we need to help do the best that's gonna help everybody's needs.
Thank you. All right, here's kind of a little longer one, but then a little build up to the question. Today's political environment is divided. Right, turn on the TV, get online. And we can see many examples of individuals holding contempt for one another. These conflicts postpone decision-making processes and affect all individuals within the county and the community. So the question is, how will you find common ground with your fellow commissioners and county members? Mr. Duffin?
I think you put the needs of the people first, and you quit worrying about what we might want, or what I might want, or what Ralph might want, or what Greg might want, or what Scott might want. We put the needs of the people first, and that's how we do it. And we work in harmony with that to build this valley, build this county. You have to do that. You have to work, and you have to be honest in everything you do. You just have to do that. You know, there's no room for, you know, I want this and I want this. There's no room for stuff like that. You've got to work together and build this the right way.
Thank you. And to you as well, Mr. Brown. How will you find common ground with your fellow commissioners and county members?
So what we try to do is we take every issue apart, piece by piece, take it apart and then survey what really we want to accomplish. We have to look down the road 20 years. We've been obtaining road rights for 1300 South for roads that we anticipate will be needed. You need to listen to the public for sure, but sometimes the public have a warped vision or a nickel view, dollar-sized problem. So you have to, we don't very often have to compromise one another. We just have to discuss it and find out the issues, and usually the right plan comes to the surface, and we all end up agreeing on it. By most things, this has been a great experience to see. We don't always agree, but we always learn to work at what's going to be the best thing for Sevier County.
Thank you. You've both hit on the importance of jobs and needing more jobs here. So how do you do that? How do you get more jobs into our area, or better paying jobs into our area?
Well, the beef plant is good jobs. They're really good jobs, and we're proud of that. We worked before that with Smith Meats for 3 or 4 years to get them down here, and they decided to find it on the county. The battery storage isn't going to take a lot of employees, but it's going to bring a ton of revenue into the county. There's 3 other large things happening that we can't disclose and talk about right now. There's probably some rumors around there, but the #1 problem we have, Malcolm receives weekly big businesses scoping us out. We've got power, we've got water, we've got everything, transportation. We are located perfectly with the interstates. We fall down on workforce. The beginning of our workforce is to up the college attendance. If we have a bunch more kids signed up for Snow College, that's going to fill those jobs to where businesses can expand. Sevier County has been famous in helping businesses grow. We used a lot of our COVID money. We get $200,000 in economic development every year, and we pledge that to small business grants. When it was COVID, if they could show a loss, we gave them money to help them. So that's how you do it, and you support the cities on what they want to do. Some of our cities don't want growth. Some of them want to stay in their community. Some want to shoot for the moon. Our role as a county is to support them.
Thank you. And same question.
I was told by a very good source a while back that out of all the counties, with the exception of IU, we're the least aggressive. That's not a good thing. We need to go out and find things. You know, the vacuum plant came in, but Henry did all all the base work itself, and then the city and the counties went in and helped. We've got to be more aggressive in going out and finding people. If businesses are coming and sending notes to us or emails or whatever, why aren't we getting it? We've got to fix that so that we can bring them in here. But it takes both bringing a business and being able to afford to have affordable housing for these people when they come in. I go back to Jed Maxwell, he says we need to do both. Because we need affordable housing for young people, but we also need other good houses for those who are coming in with businesses in it. So we've got to be more aggressive in going after it, and this county hasn't done that.
Thank you, appreciate that. What is the county's primary budget source? And what can be done to increase that?
Well, I pulled off, went to the county and I pulled the top 10 tax-paying companies within our county. Sufco used to be number 1, they're number 2 now. Wolverine Oil is number 1. The problem I have with that is Sufco and both Sufco and Wolverine is kind of dictated in a way by government. Sufco is more volatile because at any point, all it takes is one disaster and that mine will close. You know, same as what it did with Woodward or somebody else. I hope that never, ever happens. I hope that coal mine is always here. But we can't rely on those things all the time. And that's what the county's done. They sit back and they've had the gravy days, but now we've got to go find and bring in bigger businesses and industry so that those type of businesses with Wolverine, Sufco, can be the gravy icing on the cake, so to speak. So we've got to be aggressive and go out and find stuff and bring them in. And we've got to hopefully find good jobs that has benefits with it that will help our families.
Thank you. And then just a reminder of the question, what is the county's primary budget source and what can be done to increase that?
Yeah, he's exactly right when Sufco's number 2 and Wolverine Oil and Gas is number 1. Agriculture's right there, and services and all that play into it. Again, we don't have the workforce to bring in 300 plant. And we've got to decide what we want this little valley to become. If you start bringing in 300 people and all these different huge businesses that require a lot of employees, it's really going to drastically change this little valley. We are really supporting agriculture and keeping what we need. We need to grow. We've not been on our laurels. We've been very aggressive. And with Henry, we sat right with him with all of the grant applications. We helped him. We worked with him closely. Worked with the governor's office. I talked to Stephen Lisenby myself with that. So we're helping businesses grow. We're wanting them to come here, but we're wanting the right kind of businesses that don't take all of our water and they don't take so many employees that we can't fill. The big building behind Ace Hardware couldn't get enough employees, but we have a business looking at that building right now. So again, it's all in the city limits, so it's the counties kind of are support working with the cities that want to.
Thank you. A couple more questions here. Is there are we able to build more water reserve? And if so,
say it again.
Are we able to build more water reserve? And if so, how?
Well, we have a real active recharge going on right now. We have a lot of water that comes out of Monroe Canyon that's going into a gravel pit and soaking in. I'm talking 17 acres. So that's going to help our underground water. Surface water, every drop is allocated, if you understand water. So we work really hard to try to create another storage dam. All these high water users, if we could have another reservoir to store water, then we'd never have a bad year. We found out that every drop's allocated, and if we stored it down there, it would foul up delivery here, and it wouldn't be beneficial. So we dropped that. That was through the river commissioner that taught us that little principle. So water reserves is, as far as what we can do in the valley is be conservative. When we do development, let's not do so much lawn, let's not do so much green space, let's be that way. And just the way you design your yards needs to come. There's a bill right now that will incentivize people to take up the lawn and put in zero-scape yards and stuff. And the Wasatch Front's been real phenomenal, how much water they've saved to be able to put into things like that. Carl Albrecht and I have the same concern, that we have to really watch out after our water rights, because they'll come after our agriculture water next, and we've got to protect that. And so, even if it's a Great Salt Lake, it could filter down and affect us in this valleys. We spend a lot of our time protecting what we have here.
Thank you. And same question, are we able to build more water reserve, and if so, how?
You know, that's one question I can't answer, because I'm not knowledgeable enough on it. But I hope we can, and whatever I need to do to help that, I will do it.
Thank you. So, if actions speak louder than words, what actions will you implement to gain the trust and support of voters?
I think what they see is what they get. I'm going to work really hard. And if I tell you something and I can't produce it, I will tell you why. I'm not going to give a false hope to anybody and tell them something that I have no intention of. I'm going to work hard for people. And I'm not really much of a politician, I guess, but I am a good worker. And whatever I set my mind out to do, I've done it.
Thank you. And same thing, what actions will you implement to gain the trust and support of voters?
Consistency, reliable, dependability, and proven. That's what I try to do and everything like that. Working with obtaining things that will bless lives in this little valley. Currently, I'm actually working with Monroe Senior Citizens. Their center has 8 steps to get up into their building. It makes it so some people can't go there. They also have mold and asbestos in their basement. So I'm working with Johnny Parsons and other grant sources to try to replace that building. We need to bless the lives, we need to take care of our people. We're also currently taking over the senior milk program, which is a great undertaking for us to take that on. And so we've got our sights set, and January 1, all those employees will become county employees. All 3 of us are vested. They will not suffer, they will not get less. We think that fitting into our pay scale, most of the employees will have a pay increase, and we're looking for things to be better. We recently purchased, if you see these new trucks with the beds, utility beds on them, that say R6 on them now, the 6-can trucks that deliver the meals on wheels, all those trucks, we bought those trucks through COVID money. So we are committed to bless lives. Currently, they cap senior citizens at 60 people, but even if you qualify, they only deliver meals to 60 people. I think that's wrong. I think if you qualify, we need to be delivering a meal, and we're going to find a way to do it.
Thank you. We appreciate everybody's participation and questions that you've asked. Some of them have been close to other questions or have gone in with a lot of those other questions. So we'll ask one more question, and then after that we'll give you both 2 minutes to wrap up, okay? So over here, Mr. Brown. Kind of long build up here. We're here in Snow College, right? Along with the excellent general education courses, Snow College offers trade programs that support our local community's job market in composites and ACT aerospace, Christensen Arms, Fierce Arms. We have automotive and diesel mechanics to support our trucking industry, and many other supportive technical programs. So here's your question. As commissioner, how would you support the college in its growth goals and mission to help increase job opportunities?
We've done it. Not only in housing, but we set with the board off and we work out things. We've worked with every president that's been here. The custom fit program They have a program here that they can fine tune a class that will prepare anything that's going on. Currently, they have one for meat cutting. Wonder where that comes from. What a perfect fit. So we can work as a team with the college, and it'll bless lives, and we can grow together. It's a great support. We are fortunate to have President Kiff on board. We feel our future's really bright with her. She's a hometown girl, and we have her support, and she has our support. We're excited about what we can do with this college. I attended Sevier Valley Tech before it became Snow College in building trades. I think we could get work trades back in. That's going to be a factor as well. So we are very supportive of what she wants to accomplish. We know her goals, and we want to help her.
Thank you. And same question as a commissioner. How would you support the college in its growth goals and mission to help increase jobs in our local economy?
Well, I was just talking with her tonight, and that job opportunity that I've been talking about, that I hope will come, will involve the college in training people in machinists. So I'm very happy that President Kiff is here, because she's got it going back in the direction it needs to go in building everybody and building this community up. And so that's what we need to do. And I think it's a strong point when you start looking for businesses to come in here to tell them that, hey, we've got a college here, we can train people, the kids can go to college. So there's nothing, there is not a negative point anywhere about having a college here. And especially having President Kiff here, she's done a wonderful job. So I'm all for helping the college.
Thank you. All right, so we'll have you just take 2 minutes as a little closing statement, anything you'd like to wrap up or say, and we'll have you go first, Mr. Jones.
As I've talked with people, they've expressed, so many people have expressed the need for a change. It's time to change. And 8 years is enough. And so I'm going to go in there and work hard. Not in a million years that I ever think I'd do this. And I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was necessary. But we need to go a different direction with this county and put it in a stronger direction. One of the things that Ralph just said, the reason why Christensen's didn't fulfill the jobs and the needs in that building behind Larson's was that it wasn't a workforce. So I called Jason the next morning. Not the case. He says, no, that's not even close. If you think about this area in these counties, I worked in the coal mine for 25 years. We had people from Paiute, from Sevier, from San Pete, from Emory County going to that mine. We have people from Wayne County and Paiute coming to Richville to work. We have people from Sevier going to Gunnison to work. We're going to find the people, you know. I am not going to sit back and say, well, we can't because we don't have a workforce. I don't buy that. We need to bring stuff in and help. We either do that or we sit back and go, sorry, we're going to raise your taxes. And I'm not for that. We need to bring stuff in that's going to help this area and help our young people. We are a great exporter of young people. We cannot keep them here on minimum wage jobs. We have to bring industry in here that's going to pay a good job, pay a good wage, and pay good benefits. That's how we keep our families here, and that's how we build this community. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Brett.
Thank you. That's what we were told. Nothing from employees cover that. But also they went through a partner split, and that's probably the biggest reason. They won't let out there too much. But some of the great accomplishments we've been proud to be a part of is the Central Utah Counseling Center. You've seen that on First East, to grow that area and supply the needs and the ability to help with the mental health needs in the valley. Lifeline. I sit on the state jail committee. We've been able to work with the legislature to obtain a higher daily rate. And it used to be an every year fight. We've got it now to where it's ongoing. And so that's helped us put a lot of money that we're going to pay out for inmates. If any of you know what JRI is, the Justice Reinvestment Act, that lowered a lot of the crimes to misdemeanors, so then we're dealing with them on a county level instead of the state level. So that really put a shift to that, and that's really been hard for us to work with. But I'll tell you what, some of my biggest challenges is stuff that we have to maintain services. We are held by law to do services, and we only have that same dollar to accomplish that. And so we have to be very creative on how we can continue the same level of services without raising taxes. We've done that for 7.5 years. We have not raised taxes once. I've never voted for a tax increase. It's a great little valley. We have lots going for us, location, location, location. And this morning I sat out in the job site early as the sun was coming up, and there was a cool breeze, and there were some birds singing in the trees. And I thought, you know, this is a beautiful place, and I want to keep it that way.
Thank you. Mike just died, so. Can we give it a hand for you guys? Thank you, well done. We appreciate that. I'm sure it's not easy to kind of have that firing squad here. So thank you for coming prepared and being here. Thank you for you as the audience coming and maybe just educating yourself. We really do appreciate that. If I'm not mistaken, ballots come out next week. Is that correct?
June 3rd.
June 3rd, okay. And then you've got, what's that? June 4th, okay.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah. I guess you would know, right? And then if you don't do the early voting, then election day is the 25th, June 25th, right? So get out and vote. If you want to spend any more time talking to the candidates individually, asking any other questions, or getting to know them, feel free to stay after and talk to them. Thank you.
I have a copy of the article that was printed in the Richfield Reaper. It's called Sevier County A Year in Review. A lot of the things we didn't have time to talk about tonight. And if you're interested on what the county's been up to for a year, you're welcome to take one of these.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Wannabe news station. That was a wrap on the kind of debate setting type ordeal here at the event center with Ralph Brown and Brad Duffin. Thanks for tuning in and watching the Wannabe news station. And that's a wrap.